Alright, so I've already grabbed my hot towels here in my hand, and I've already pulled back just the blanket portion of the client's feet. When I do hot towels on feet, I like to do 1 foot at a time, and I like to leave the other one draped so it doesn't get cold. However, what you can do is, since I have both towels here, I can go ahead and wrap both feet up in the hot towels so that one is kind of cooking per se while I work on the other one. I'm going to do that now. How's that feel in your feet?
Great.
I like to try to encompass as much of the foot as possible. And again, I'm going to cover this bun back up so it cooks while I work on this one here. And again, all I'm going to do is some light compressions in varying points so I can kind of stretch the foot. And here I'm using my thumbs, but you don't have to use your thumbs, obviously that's not always great. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. You can use your palms to kind of expand the sole of the foot. Again, make sure you're paying attention to nonverbal cues and talking to your client. Are you feeling okay with this?
Yes.
Not too hot?
No.
Okay, good. I'm just going to kind of try and mobilize each one of the individual metatarsals. Our feet, for the most part, act as one unit, and they flex according to the ground that's underneath us, and they don't actually get a chance to move individually by themselves. So sometimes it's nice to kind of work some fluid in between them if you want. Here, while I've moved and worked on the bottom of her foot a good bit, I'm going to move it up around her ankle just a bit, just like that, just to kind of get some heat flow on there. And now you have two choices. You can either work this foot bare, however massage technique you want to use. You can mobilize the ankle lightly within comfort. You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. And then I always make sure I take this one off. For the same reason I take off the ones on the back, right? I don't want a damp towel to be sitting on their foot for the duration of the rest of the massage. I'm going to cover this one back up. Another very big thing to do when you're done working on the feet as well as applying hot towels is to dry the sole of the foot off with the sheet. You don't want any clients getting up and maybe slipping or just having greasy feet in their shoes after the massage. It's not how you want them to remember you. I'm going to even cover her back up with the blanket on this side just so it's extra warm. Move to the other side, which has already been cooking, so my compressions maybe don't have to last as long, and I can move it up to the ankle. Another thing to note that is as soon as you take the towels out of the warmer, they immediately begin to cool down. So you have a very finite time to kind of work with this unless you leave the towels in there. That can work as long as your towel warmer is close, but if you have to keep going across the room to do these things, it may be worthwhile to just bring the towels and do them as I've done. Again, I'm just doing some light stretching for the sole of the foot. It can be very good for those with plantar fasciitis. Although if they're flared up, they may not want the excess heat on there because of the inflammation. This may be one of those instances, and I know we're not covering ice so much on this one, is where you use, especially if they have plantar fasciitis, is use an ice roll on their foot. Again, definitely talk to them about that, because if you're like me with ticklish feet, they're not going to want ice on the bottom of the foot either. Again, I'm going to move the individual metatarsals, kind of mobilize those joints a little bit. And then again, I'll move it up around the ankle. Maybe move the ankle a little bit. From here, I can also work on the feet while I do that. Another thing I didn't show on the other foot is you can also incorporate a small calf stretch or gastroc stretch / soleus stretch here if you bend the knee. Just another place you can do it. Nice and quick with the hot towels, just because again they're cooling down all the while they're out. I'm gonna remove this hot towel, set this right here, while again I dry her foot off. Take this and re-drape. That typically ends my massage. I like to end on the feet as it is. So from here, it's just compressions, a little bit of rocking to wake the limbs back up, let the client know that we're done with the massage, and then step out.